So this is a quick, simple example using nodal analysis. Here they're asking us to find IL, which is this current here flowing in the resistor RL, and they want us to use the nodal analysis. So let's see how this would work here. So the first thing we want to recognize is we really only have one node, which is right here, and we're just going to arbitrarily call this node A. So that means the voltage here would be VA. So now we can use this to come up with our equation for this circuit. So when we look at this, first thing we notice, we're just going to do the equations first, and then we'll put values in a minute. So here we see that we will have, for the blue resistor, we will have VA minus E1 over R1. And then if we come around to this resistor here, RL, and we see we will have VA, again, just applying Ohm's law, over RL. That would be our current flowing there. And then finally, in R2, we should have VA minus E2 over R2. And so that's our three branches. And so we should be able to set all of that equal to 0. And so if we rewrite this, we could say we have VA over R1 minus E1 over R1 plus VA over RL plus VA over R2 minus E2 over R2. That's equal to 0. So this is a little bit different approach, but it works. So then we can take and divide out VA as 1 over R1 plus 1 over RL plus 1 over R2. And so that's using these three terms here. Didn't want to do that. These three terms here to get that. And then we can move over to the other side of the equation. We'll have E1 over R1 plus E2 over R2. And so then if we wanted what VA is just going to be E1 over R1 plus E2 over R2 over 1 over R1 plus 1 over RL plus 1 over R2. So if we plug these values in, then we will have 42 over 3. It's going to be minus because this voltage is backwards. The minus sign's on top. So minus 21 over 12. And then that's all over 1 over 3 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 12. So if we plug all that in the calculator and work it out, that's going to be 21 volts. So that's the voltage at VA. But what they asked for was the IL. So we see that IL is just from Ohm's law. It would be VA over RL. So we just calculated VA right here. So that's 21 volts. RL is 6 ohms. So therefore, plug that in the calculator, we get 3.5 amps for IL. So a little bit different way to look at nodal analysis, but really it's all the same, works the same way. But that's what we come up with for this exercise.